Hello and welcome to the Crew 2. Today we're doing a revisit video of what I did in the Crew 1. And I didn't touch a streetcar in that video. This time we are. We're going to use a streetcar and a drift vehicle, and we're going to go through all 6 basic techniques from Keiichi Tsuchiya's Drift Bible on YouTube. You can look that video up if you want more further explanation of what's going on with the vehicle. However, I will attempt to sort of break it down for you a little bit in a more basic manner. And with that, let's get the car started at least. It's alive. Alright, we're going to start out with the side e-brake. And we'll do it again one more for good measure. Alright, so that's just pulling the e-brake. Shift lock. And we'll go ahead and talk about power over after this corner. Because I need to explain shift lock. Shift lock is you're downshifting, it's locking the rear tires after you started your turn, and it'll make you slide. Power over is very simple. As soon as you start your turn, you get in the throttle, it slides. Just like that. Now, we're going to go into the next 3, which is going to be weight shifting the vehicle around. As if I use the brakes, you can see the front of the car dip down, putting all the weight to the front of the car, making the tail light. If I were to turn in that situation, as soon as all the weight's on the front, the tail will slide out. Just like that. One more time. Okay. Now, I'm going to do a feint or Scandinavian Flick. This is done by shifting the weight side to side like a pendulum on the clock. And with that being said, you can do that to manji as well, or the side-to-side motion that a lot of people like to do while drifting. One more time. Alrighty. Now, the last one is accel off. This requires a lot of speed, or enough speed to overcome the tire's grip or traction, so that the car will slide naturally. And there you go. That is the 6 basics with a streetcar. And I want you to know that, yes, I do have a tune on this. This tune works for me. It may or may not work for anybody else. And that's the nature of a tune for a drift car. Every tune is different, every car is different, every person is different. So, with all that said, we'll go ahead and jump over into a drift spec. Oh boy. Okay, again, we're going to start off with the e-brake. We'll go to shift lock, power over, braking, feint, maybe a little manji because we're feinting. Accel off, and then I will maybe touch on dynamic. Oh, that was such a short e-brake pull. Try it again. There we go. Very long e-brake pull there. Alright, now we're going to go on down here. And while I'm going up here, oh, I got a random with me. Awesome. So, we're going to do a shift lock. And then basically, yeah, I've already explained it. Then then we have power over, which is going to be here. That would be a power over. Again, with braking, front of the car dips, and we're good to rock and roll with that. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Hey, there's another power over for you. Hey, here's a braking. And a feint. Before it snows on me. Oh, manji, manji. And a little bit of dynamic here. Okay, sell off. Let off throttle, let the car slide. Now, with that all done, we can now briefly touch on if you have a steering wheel. Keep a note that if you initiate in that direction as you slide start sliding, you can then go ahead and recover or change direction by turning the other way. If you want to maintain your drift, you just hold the wheel straight and you'll maintain your drift. And as that gentleman just passing me showed, nitrous I don't have a use for. I do not understand the purpose of it, otherwise I would tell you. Now, dynamic drifting is more for a tandem situation, as you're using one or all the techniques to avoid from hitting the person in front of you or making room for the person behind you. There is a perfect example of a dynamic drift. It was initiated initially with a very simple accel off and a feint mixed. There was a little bit of e-brake and shift lock in there to maintain the slide and get a little extra distance to keep room for the inside to keep open in case I had somebody, trying to get on my door. So, now if you're learning how to, just starting that is, going these big angles like this, not a great idea. You can get yourself into an angle lock to where you can't get the car to recover in time and you end up hitting the wall. And or you'll have too much speed at the wrong initiation point. And having the right initiation point helps a lot. Now if you have too much speed and you initiate too late, you'll hit the outside wall. If you're too slow, you'll hit the inside wall. As I almost initiated too late on that one. So, and here we go, we'll do this one here. I initiate too soon. I have a lot of speed. I use the technique as best as I can. And guess what? All bad. I crashed. And that's why I was explaining here is that, high angle, yeah, it's great for points, but when you're first learning, try to keep a low angle. A lower angle is easier to control and manage. As you can tell by this person's tire tracks here. Let's see what he does here. Hey, he did a feint. And he's doing another feint. And this is what I mean by dynamic here. Well, okay, that wraps it up there. Thanks to the random here who just joined us. And, well, I hope you all have a good day. And I hope you learned something. If not, I'm sorry I tried.